Now, to many people, this may look like some quiet suburban London street. It's beautiful, isn't it? Turn of the century architecture, and you can imagine all sorts of things coming down this particular road. You know, the horse and carriages, the hansom cabs, people selling all sorts of things, the early morning milkmen, the coalmen, all of that. It just evokes sort of upstairs, downstairs, Downton Abbey. Well, recently, one of these particular properties was on the market for 6 million. And it's not really as suburban as you might think because it's literally just down the road from Kensington Park and Hyde Park. But it has a royal connection. As ever, I wanted to share this with you now because more than ever, as we are looking forward to celebrating our wonderful monarch, King Charles III, rumour has it that it was here on this particular street that he was brought to visit this particular house by the late Queen Mother because he was a fan of exactly what went on inside that house. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. I do love to find these places and share them with you because I do find these sort of things fascinating. And do let me know if you do the same in the comments below. You know, we all know the tourist traps, don't we? You know, the things that everybody knows. But it's the sort of little places that you think, wow, did that really go on there? Did those people truly walk down this road or this street? Well, in this case, they did because we're talking about, well, as I say, it has a marvellous royal connection. This particular road here, this particular street, Ulm Street, just off Bayswater Road, really was the epicenter in the 1950s and 60s of the world of comedy here in the United Kingdom. That is because the brilliantly celebrated people like Spike Milligan, Eric Sykes, Michael Bentine, Dick Emery, Frankie Howerd, you name it, anybody who was anybody came down this particular road. In fact, I was lucky enough to meet Eric Sykes, who told me that he would just get off the 94 bus, come to work to his office like it was any other day. They created some of the most phenomenal scripts that are still laughed at today. What's interesting though here is, according to a very good source, Prince Charles, who was a fanatical Goon Show fan, absolutely adored them. Well, the Queen Mother organised a very secret private visit for the very young Prince Charles to come and see his heroes in action, creating the scripts. But as Eric pointed out to me, it wasn't necessarily the most exciting thing that he possibly had seen because all they really did was sit around a table looking at newspapers, listening to the radio, waiting for inspiration to strike so that they could come up with comedy. Spike Milligan and the King, as he is now, struck up an incredible friendship. Spike was a very funny man, also with his own personal demons. Eric Sykes came over some terrible situations in his life to become one of the most much loved comedy writers and performers. Right now, this particular place, as I say, was recently on the market for 6 million. And as of today, this has become the brand new embassy of Kosovo here in London in the United Kingdom. And it got me thinking, you know, as you walk past this, would anybody who's now taken that suite of officers making big decisions about the world, their world in London, would have any idea what's gone on, what they've created in those particular rooms? You know what I mean? That type of thing. Of course, they are celebrated because there are two blue plaques outside the building, which were put up a few years ago now, and very nicely opened by some comedy legends themselves. But as I said to Eric Sykes, you know, comedy is a funny business. And he said, no, it's a serious business because you have to make sure when you get back on the bus after a long day of the office that you've come up with something that can truly make the nation laugh. Not only did these particular bunch of comedians make the nation laugh, they also made our future monarch laugh too. And if you want to come and see these blue plaques, as I say, they were known as Associated London Scripts, and it's 9 Orme Court, Orme Street, where you need to come. Come along. You might just soak up some of the comedy history yourself. As ever, do let me know what you think to this particular story in the comments below. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.